Hey guys, welcome back to another video on Turkiye Burslari. Our topic for today is all about the interview for the Turkish scholarship. How will it be conducted? When would it be conducted? What kind of questions are you going to be asked? How should you dress to the interview? These are some of the questions I'll be answering in today's video. In addition, I'll be narrating my own experience right from when I got my interview email till the end of the interview. While narrating, I'll be letting you guys know how to answer different questions and mentioning other tips that can help you ace your interview. Hence, this video is going to be very long. Though I recommend you to watch the entire video, I know it may not be possible due to time or other factors. Therefore, please use the timestamps in the description below to skip to whichever part of the video you are interested in. Also, please turn on captions or subtitles in order to get the best watch experience. By the way, if you are new here, you are very much welcome to my channel. I am Baozar and I make videos basically on studying abroad. If you like my content and if you would like to see more, please click the subscribe button down there and don't forget to ring the bell so you get notified every time I upload. Alright guys, let's get right started. Firstly, let's talk about when the interview will hold. According to the Turkiye Burslari website, interviews will start taking place in March and last up till June. So right from March, you may start checking your mails from time to time. Now let's move on to what the content of the mail says. I'm going to be reading out the email that was sent to me by Turkiye Burslari. But before this, I want to mention once again that this video is going to be very long because I wanted to make it as detailed as possible. So in case you want to skip to any part you are interested in, please use the time codes I have put in the description below. Otherwise, if you are ready to ride on with me, please turn on captions or subtitles and let's go on. Now let me read out what the interview email says and the instructions given in the interview email. Dear Baozar, we would like to inform you that the Turkiye Scholarships Evaluation Committee has accepted your application eligible for the interview. You are invited to attend the interview at the date and place specified below with the original documents that you uploaded during the application. This means you guys would have to go to the interview location with all the original copies of the documents you submitted during your application. For the full list of documents you need to take along with you to the interview location, please check the description below. And I honestly suggest you to check the description a day or two before the interview because I update it regularly. Anytime I get new information, I would always update it there. If your interview is tomorrow or next tomorrow, please try to check my description today so that you get the full details of all the documents you need to take along with you. So let's continue with the interview email. A quantitative test exam will be held for undergraduate candidates who will attend the interview. Candidates are required to bring their own pencil and eraser to the interview. Now for this quantitative test exam, I am not sure if it was held last year. I asked someone in Nigeria who applied last year and the person said it was not held, but I don't know for other countries. Anyways, if you get your interview emails and you are told that you are going to write this quantitative test, I would suggest that you use SAT mathematics to practice for this test. During our time, our test questions were very similar to SAT mathematics, so if you want to practice for it, that is the best platform to practice. Okay, now continuing with the mail, it says, please contact us at the email address for inquiries regarding your interview. We would like to thank you for your interest in Turkiye scholarships and wish you success in your future endeavors. Best, Turkiye Scholarships Team. Interview country, Nigeria. Interview date, 2019 May, 9:30 a.m. Interview address, they give the address of your location. They give you a contact email. So if you are among those that have to move to another city for the interview, please try to go there a day before or 2 days before if possible. If you have a family friend or somebody to stay with or you want to stay in an hotel, I would really recommend that you do so. The reason for this is that you shouldn't travel on the day of your interview. On that day, you are going to be quite nervous and you may experience some other emotions and you don't want to add the stress of traveling to it. Now there are some important information in the last part of the interview mail. The first one is interview language. It would be the official language of your country. For example, English for Nigeria, Arabic for Egypt. Interview questions. Interview committee will assess your general knowledge, your academic background, your intended field of study, and your motivation to study in Turkey. So guys, I'm going to be explaining this further by narrating my own experience and by letting you guys know how to answer different questions, because these 4 points they have stated here are going to be the core of your interview. Lastly, in the interview email, it says that dress code is casual, so you guys just have to dress simply and informally. Okay, now that we know the contents of the interview email, I'll continue by narrating my own experience. So, we wrote the mathematics test, 12 questions for 15 minutes. Well, was the time enough? I don't know. Time is never enough though. Okay, so after the mathematics quiz, we were all told to wait in the lobby while they called us in one by one for the interview. When it got to my turn, trust me, I was very nervous, and unfortunately for me, I was shy as well. There were three men in the room. One seemed like the main guy seated in the middle. One collected my documents, and the third one was with a laptop. I think he had my application on the laptop looking at everything. The one in the middle was holding my mathematics quiz paper, and the first question he asked me was, "How was the math test?" And I said it was okay. Then he said, "How did you perform?" Then I said, "I think I tried my best." Then he said, "Do you think you performed well?" At this point, I didn't know what he was driving at, so I wasn't sure of how to answer. But I told him, "I think I tried my best again." I wanted to ask them what my score was, but I wasn't sure if we were allowed to know. And since he didn't tell me in the first place, I thought maybe we were not supposed to know. So I just didn't bother any longer. Now I must confess, guys, that I don't really remember all the questions I was asked, and I don't remember the order in which they came. But I remember some very important questions, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. The first one I remember very clearly is, why do you want to study your course? Yeah, my course in my case, computer engineering. So why do you want to study computer engineering? As you guys can tell, this is a very important question, and it must come. I mean, you must face this question. If this question doesn't come to you, you are probably one of the luckiest ones. So to answer this question very well, I think it is necessary for you guys to ask yourselves right now, why do I want to study my course? Like, why are you interested in this course? Is it because you have a passion for it? Is it because your friend is also studying the course? Is it because you have a role model who studied the course? Or do you have something in future you want to do with this course? Why exactly are you interested in studying this course? It is important for you to ask yourselves these questions and be able to answer them. If you haven't found the right answers to these questions yet, please try to read up on the course online and see if it actually interests you. If it does, those reasons why it interests you are what you have to explain to the Turkiye Burslari committee on your interview day. You have to let them know that you are interested in this course for so and so reason, and because you want to do something like this in future, or because you want to use the course to achieve a particular aim, you are interested in studying the course. So this is what this question is all about, and like I said before, it is quite important. The way you respond to this question tells a lot about you, and it goes a long way in your evaluation process. Like it was stated in the interview email, this question assesses your knowledge on your intended field of study. So in my case, I wasn't so sure of why I wanted to study computer engineering. I thought I was sure, but on that day, I just found myself stammering when I was asked this question. I was trying to find the words, but they were not just coming. And this was probably because I did not ask myself these questions before going for the interview. I felt so bad that I think one of them even recognized and told me to calm down, to take my time, that it's all going to be okay. They are not there to bite me and all, trying to encourage me. I think they asked me one or two questions they knew I wouldn't get wrong, just to probably uplift my spirit or something like that. They asked me questions like, what does your father do, or what is your mother's middle name? So I think they can be very helpful if you guys are having a hard time. Another important question I was asked was, why do I want to study in Turkey? As you guys know, this is a question that was also asked in your letter of intent, and I'm sure you guys must have given reasons why you want to study in Turkey or why you want to study in a Turkish university. Now on this interview date, this is your chance for you to tell them more, for you to explain further on the reasons, or even to add more to those reasons you have given. Actually, this question can be rephrased as, why do you want to study your course in Turkey? So for you guys to be able to tell them why you want to study your course in Turkey, I'm sure you know you have to research a bit. You have to go into different universities, especially those ones you already applied to. Try to check their coursework, try to see what kind of projects the departments are into, see if what they do interests you, and try to see the kind of opportunities available for you before and after graduation in that university as an extension in Turkey. Like it was stated in the interview email, this question assesses your motivation to study in Turkey. So what motivates you guys? Is it just Turkish food? Is it Turkish movies? Is it the fact that Turkey is a country that connects Asia with Europe? Or are there other things you are more interested in that probably motivate you to want to study in Turkey? These are some questions you have to ask yourselves, and the answers to them is what you are going to narrate on the interview day. Don't get me wrong, guys, I'm not saying these reasons are not strong enough, but they are not really strong enough to set you apart from other candidates that would also give these reasons. I mean, these are very common reasons and almost everyone gives them. So what other things would you say to kind of set you apart? As you all know, the purpose of an interview is to pick those unique candidates, is to find those unique candidates from a pool of similar candidates. So I'm sure you would like to give different reasons to set yourself apart. So in my own case, after telling them reasons why I wanted to study my course in Turkey, I went further telling them how I had lived in a diverse environment on a small scale. This diverse environment was my secondary school. My secondary school in Nigeria comprised of students from almost every state in Nigeria. So I lived with the Igbos, with the Hausas, with the Fulanis, with people from Edo, people from Delta, and I could just experience different tribes all in one environment. So since Turkiye Burslari accepted students from all over the world, I told them it would be the best opportunity for me to not only experience diversity on the international level, but also to help me build connections and probably learn how the world operates. This was one of the most important reasons I gave, so I urge you guys to also find connections probably between your past and what Turkey has to offer. I can't remember how many reasons I gave on why I wanted to study in Turkey, but I most likely answered this question very well because I made a lot of research as to why Turkey is a good place to study. Like I said in the beginning, I had a bad time because I couldn't answer the first question very well. So this question, after answering it, my spirit got uplifted a bit and things started going well. Okay, the next question I remember was, what are your plans after graduation? Now guys, let me start from here. I think this question is trying to see what you want to do for yourself after graduation, the kind of plans you have, and how you probably want to have an impact on people through the knowledge you have gained. I have a friend who studies microbiology, and this person is so interested in how to find a cure for malaria. This person necessarily does not have to stay in Turkey after graduation. Somebody that wants to study civil engineering would probably want to stay in Turkey after graduation, maybe because of masters or because of experience. But somebody that wants to study microbiology will probably not stay for masters, will probably go to another country to gain more experience, to learn more, probably for better technologies or whatever the reason may be, then eventually go back to his or her country. So what is important here is that you guys have a plan. You know what you want to do. You know the ultimate aim for your own course, and that is what you explain to them. Now, how would you get there? After graduation, is it by you moving to another country? Is it by you staying in Turkey? Is it by you working in different companies, or is it by you going back to your own country and setting up your own business? This is how I think this question should be addressed. There's one more question I remember I was asked. I don't know if you guys also have this condition whereby you did not apply in the same year you graduated. So let's say, for example, you applied for this scholarship 2 years or 3 years after your graduation. You'll probably be asked what you have been doing since you graduated from high school. I think you were also asked in the application portal, right? So for this question, some people think like, let me give an example. Somebody wants to study international relations, and the person, since after graduation, has probably not gotten admission into any of the universities he or she applied to. So this person has been into fashion designing, probably learning how to sew clothes for men or women. Now, you are faced with a question like, what have you been doing since after graduation? In my opinion, guys, it is not for you to think that, oh, I haven't been doing anything academic, or I have not been doing anything related to my own field of study, so I don't really have anything to tell them. No, guys, you shouldn't think like that, because the main point is you did not just sit at home watching Netflix all day. You decided to make use of the time and probably gain a new skill that can probably help you in future. So you actually did something beneficial for yourself. They just want to make sure that you've not been wasting your time and you actually have something tangible you have been doing, and this is what you should explain to them. In my own case, I told them exactly what I have been doing after graduation, and I was honest with that. So I suggest that you guys be honest with them as well. Don't think that what you have been doing is not related to your academic field, or you don't think it is something worthwhile. No, please tell them whatever you have been doing since you graduated, especially if it covers the fact that you were not wasting your time throughout. So please let them know this and put it to them in good words so that they'll reason with you. Okay, at the end, I remember them asking me what I know about Turkish language. Maybe I have learned some words, or maybe I have watched some films. So I told them I knew Yemek Yerim and Sui Cherim because I learned those from Duolingo. We started learning from Duolingo back then. So maybe you guys can also start doing that. It may really help you become friends with the interviewers. It may really make them like you. Okay guys, so these are the questions that I remember I was asked, and they were very important questions. Other questions I think I was asked were questions like what my parents do, or how many siblings I have, or why I like Turkey, or questions about what I have filled in my application portal. So please, you guys, make sure you confirm everything you have filled in your application portal. If you don't know what you have filled in a particular part, try to log into your portal, download your application PDF so you can go through everything again before your interview date. Guys, I would like you to do something for yourselves. It is that you should go into Turkiye Burslari website and see the terms and conditions. So many people don't actually check this, and by the time they get the scholarship, they feel very disappointed with the terms and conditions. Turkiye Burslari has its terms and conditions, including the Turkish language course for a year. So please check their website very well. Read extensively on why the scholarship is being offered so that you can speak in terms of what they are interested in and speak in terms of what you are interested in as well. I hope you guys will put this into consideration while speaking on your interview dates and while going through the entire process, because this is very, very important. Okay guys, if you have watched the video up to this point, it shows how much you are interested, and I really congratulate you. Now, to summarize everything, it is that an interview email will be sent out to you, probably starting from March up until April. You start receiving your mails, so please check your mails regularly, maybe once a week or twice a week. One more thing is that you guys should please check the description before your interview date, because I'm going to update it as regularly as possible. In the description, you are going to find the document you need to take along with you to the interview. You are going to find other details as well that I probably did not mention in this video. So guys, please try to do that as frequently as possible. Secondly is that they are going to test you on why you want to study in Turkey, why you want to study your course, what you want to do after graduation. They are going to ask you questions based on what you have filled in your application form. So please try to download your application PDF and confirm everything. Thirdly is that to answer any question, you guys have to have a lot of knowledge. You have to make a lot of research. Try to enter university's website and read extensively on your own department and see why you want to study the course and see why you want to study in Turkey. Fourthly is that you guys have to practice very well. It is nice that you have watched a video like this and other videos similar to this, but you actually have to practice yourself. Let your friends help you practice. Let your parents or your brothers help you practice, because if you don't practice, you wouldn't know what this situation feels like. I am only trying to explain to you, but I probably did not even give you half of what the emotions may feel like on that day. So it is important for you guys to record yourself and see how you perform, if it is actually okay or not. There are several videos on YouTube that can tell you how to perform on an interview, how to speak, and how to compose yourself so that you guys can do your interview properly. Please don't forget that apart from your grades, apart from your letter of intent, apart from your letter of recommendation, other factors go into your evaluation, like your character, your mode of speaking, how humble you are, how knowledgeable you are, and so many other things we probably don't know that Turkiye Burslari and every other scholarship committee would check. So please guys, make sure you practice and do not leave anything out, and I really wish you guys good luck. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Thank you very much guys, and I'll see you in the next one.